Favorite West Ham goalkeeper? That is a tough one. Obviously, there's been some amazing ones in the past. You go back to the likes of Parks and Ludo. But at least during my lifetime, my answer would be Lucas Fabianski. Relatively new to West Ham in terms of his career. But honestly, I just don't think there's been much better. He just brings such a stability to our side. Obviously, he's made one or two errors, which is normal for a goalkeeper, but I just think he's an absolutely phenomenal goalkeeper, and he was an absolutely phenomenal signing for us. And the dividends are showing. He's been unbelievable for 2.5 seasons now. He just gets better game in, game out, and I think if it wasn't for him, we'd be in a lot of trouble. We'd be further down the table. Obviously, the injury was a problem and cost us a lot this season, where we were jumping between Roberto. In fairness, Martin did a great job when he had to step in. But yeah, it has to be Lucas Fabianski. He's been unbelievable, great shot stopper, good distribution. He even saves penalties. And yeah, he's brought a stability to our side that's really aided us. So yeah, Lucas Fabianski, top class.
My favourite goalkeeper at West Ham, and that was Ernie Gregory. The reason for that is he was the very first goalkeeper I saw when I was taken to my first football match by my uncle. And from then on in, he just became my favourite. He was a big guy. He was about 6'2", 6'3". He commanded the box, and I suppose you could liken him to a Peter Schmeichel type figure at the back. He was very commanding. He knew exactly what was going on. He was brave, and because of his size, he commanded the penalty area and combated as many centre forwards as possible, with not only his stature, but also sometimes his strong language. Ernie Gregory was and still is a legend at West Ham, and I just feel that for me he was the main goalkeeper. He inspired Phil Parks very much. When Phil Parks joined West Ham, it was really Ernie Gregory, as the goalkeeping coach at West Ham at that time, that brought Phil Parks on. And Phil Parks is testament to talking about that, quite regularly. So that's my favourite goalkeeper of West Ham, Ernie Gregory.
Yeah, it says for Manchester United, I'm going to give my favourite West Ham keeper, and for me it has to be Rob Green. At that time, when he come from Norwich, he was a great shot stopper. He was very commanding, and he was he was a player that you could just tell that he really cared. No matter what club he's at, he cared, and he showed so much passion and heart. And I remember that at the time, I think, wow, there's two performances I remember. It was the Arsenal game when we beat him 1-0, and I think you remember that game with the old touchline kerfuffle with Pardew and Mr. Arsene Wenger. And another game I remember is what kept us up as well was the 1-0 against Man United last game of the season, man. Yeah, man, I remember that game. Oh boy, yeah, that kept us up, man. And yeah, Terrence got that goal, but yeah, Rob Green, man, he had like a blinder that game from what I remember, and he stuck by us for many seasons. He went down with us, yep, in that treacherous 2011-12 season, yeah. I'm still scarred from that season, yeah, but he actually got runner-up, Hammer of the Year. Scott Parker beat him to it. He stayed with us when we got relegated, and him along with Kevin Nolan, the Big Sam, he helped us, guide us up back to the Premier League via the playoffs. And yeah, that was still to this day, that Championship was probably one of the best seasons as a fan for me. We had so many good away days, and that's why Rob Green's my favourite keeper.
Okay, so I've been asked to try and pick West Ham's best goalkeeper over all the years. I started supporting West Ham when Bobby Ferguson was in goal. He got replaced by Mervyn Day, and then going through, Parksy came along, Ludo McCloskey, Yossi, Fabianski at the moment. But for me, I'd have to go, there are two goalkeepers for me that stand out, and that's Ludo and Phil Parks. And Phil Parkes is going to get the nod because for me, the Hammers finished third in that 85-86 season, and he was just unstoppable. He was the difference between our goalkeepers of today and the goalkeepers of yesterday. So for me, my vote is Phil Parkes.
Right, my all-time favourite West Ham goalkeeper has to be Shaka Hislop. I started supporting West Ham about 2002, 2003. I was more or less about 10 years old, but he was kind of like the first goalkeeper that played for West Ham at that time, and around them sort of years. And West Ham haven't exactly got a large conveyor belt of brilliant goalkeepers that have played for us over the years. But for my memory, he didn't make many mistakes. He wasn't all the time brilliant, but he could always sort of rely on him. And for me, he was really unlucky to concede that goal in the FA Cup final against Gerrard last minute. That's still painful. But I don't know, there was something about him that he was always tried hard, or, you know, always gave his all for West Ham. And I think since then, I mean, Rob Green is obviously up there with one of the best keepers we've ever had, but he kind of, I think he soured his legacy at West Ham when he went to QPR for the money. In my opinion, people will say I'm talking bullshit, but he lost a bit of respect from me. Not that he didn't care about my respect, but there you go. Fabianski is another one, but Fabianski is more of a, you know, a present goalkeeper, and not an all-time goalkeeper. But for me, it's probably gonna be Shaka Hislop. So yeah, good old Shaka.